And so he just goes along with all the woke nonsense because he doesn't want to fight that wing of his party. He can't afford to have a battle.
Okay, he speaks much clearer. He might be crazy. He might be a sociopath.
He is crazy. He's crazy and stupid.
Say all those things.
No, they look better.
Yeah, they're thin and active. And
well, Biden's thin.
That's true.
Trump is not. You're going to have a doddering old man.
Do you definitely think that Biden's going to make it to the 2024 elections? Because I'm not convinced.
Well, who knows? Yeah, he might not, and so might not Trump.
Did you know that malignant narcissism isn't just a fancy insult? It's a real mental disorder that Bill Maher says describes Trump to a T. And get this, experts say it affects only about 1% of the population, but those who have it can cause major trouble. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Maher warns that this rare condition makes Trump super easy to manipulate. He says foreign leaders could play Trump like a fiddle just by stroking his ego. Want to know how this could impact national security? Stay tuned as we dive into Maher's breakdown of Trump's dangerous delusions. Picture this. Bill Maher sipping his coffee and ready to dish out some scalding hot takes on Trump.
So that's my big issue with him. I know you have others.
Well, my biggest issue is he lies a lot, and he's probably...
Well, certainly not more than Trump.
Okay, he speaks much clearer. He might be crazy. He might be a sociopath.
He is crazy. He's crazy and stupid.
Say all those things.
You're going to have a doddering old man.
Do you definitely think that Biden's going to make it to the 2024 elections? Because I'm not convinced.
Well, who knows? Yeah, he might not, and so might not Trump.
When he appeared on Joe Rogan's podcast, you just knew it was going to be comedy gold. And boy, did Maher deliver. He didn't pull any punches, folks. Maher straight up called Trump crazy, stupid, and criminal. But he didn't stop there. He went full psychologist on us, diagnosing Trump with malignant narcissism. Now, before you think that's just a fancy way of saying Trump's a big-headed jerk, listen up. It's actually a real mental disorder that makes people act like they're the center of the universe. Maher pointed out how Trump is obsessed with crowd sizes. Remember when he kept bragging about his inauguration crowd? Well, according to Maher, it's not just Trump being a show-off, it's a sign of something way more serious. This obsession isn't just annoying, it's actually messing with how Trump makes decisions as a politician. But here's where it gets really wild. Maher warned that Trump's ego problem isn't just embarrassing, it's dangerous. He said foreign leaders could easily manipulate Trump just by stroking his ego. Imagine if Kim Jong-un told Trump his hands were huge. We might end up giving North Korea Florida. Maher even compared Trump to a city roach. You know, those gross bugs that seem to get stronger the more you try to squash them? Yeah, that's Trump in politics. According to Maher, he just keeps crawling back, no matter how many times he gets sprayed with the metaphorical political bug spray. And get this, when Trump heard about Maher calling him crazy and stupid, he reacted just like you'd expect. He got all huffy and pouty, proving Maher's point that he can't handle criticism. It's like watching a toddler throw a tantrum because someone said their finger painting wasn't the best thing ever. But hold on to your MAGA hats, folks, because Maher wasn't done roasting the orange in chief. He had plenty more zingers up his sleeve, ready to serve Trump some more humble pie. And trust me, you won't want to miss what comes next in this comedy detective story. Remember when Trump claimed the election was rigged? Well, Maher is about to turn that claim inside out like a cheap MAGA hat. He's got a whole list of Trump's post-election stunts that'll make you wonder if we've been living in a political circus.
And so he just goes along with all the woke nonsense because he doesn't want to fight that wing of his party. He can't afford to have a battle. We're living in a world where perfect is not on the menu. These are the choices we're going to have. This is going to be who's running next time.
If you want to talk about in terms of an election, but you talk about in terms of the guy who's in office right now, like, why don't I like him? These just look at the Burisma situation.
Does, because they're running against each other.
Okay.
So it's kind of necessary.
It could.
How many clowns can fit in one White House? Maher's not just throwing jokes around, folks. He's putting on his detective hat and digging into Trump's post-election shenanigans. It's like an episode of Law and Order, Special Victims of Democracy Unit. And boy, does Maher have some juicy evidence to share. First up, Maher exposes Trump's attempts to overturn the election results. It's like Trump thought he could just yell do-over and get a new election. But that's not how democracy works, Donnie. Maher lays out all the dirty tricks Trump tried to pull, from threatening Mike Pence, his own VP, for crying out loud, to pressuring state officials. It's like Trump was playing a game of how to lose friends and alienate people, presidential edition. But here's where it gets really wild. Maher connects all these crazy actions to Trump's inability to accept loss. It's like Trump's playing a game of Monopoly, loses all his properties, and then tries to eat the board so no one else can play. Maher points out that Trump even admitted he didn't want people to know he lost the election. Talk about living in La La Land. Now you might be thinking, so what? Trump's just a sore loser, but Maher warns us it's way more serious than that. This isn't just about Trump throwing a tantrum because he didn't get his way. It's about the future of our democracy. Maher's got us all on the edge of our seats, wondering what this means for the country.
Come on,
well,
man.
Listen, I think they both lie. I mean, I don't like that more than this guy.
Absolutely.
When you're like 70, whatever years old, 78 years old.
One is 77, one is 80.
Yeah, that's...
Okay. No, they look better.
Yeah, they're thin and active. And
Well,
yeah,
Biden's thin.
that's true.
Trump is not.
Because I want to just, if you want to talk about Trump, we could talk about Trump. But if you just talk about Biden, I don't think comparing him to Trump does anybody any good.
And here's the kicker. Maher drops the comedy bomb and gets real serious for a moment. He says Trump's actions weren't just unethical, they might actually be illegal. Yep, you heard that right. Legal experts are saying Trump's post-election stunts could be criminal solicitation and conspiracy. It's like Trump thought he was above the law, but Maher's here to remind him that nobody's above the law, not even if you have really tiny hands. So how does this comedy detective story end? Well, you'll have to stick around to find out, but let's just say Maher's got a few more tricks up his sleeve and Trump might want to start looking for a good lawyer, or maybe a good clown college to enroll in. After all, he's already got the orange makeup down pat. So Maher drops the mic with his final punchline. Trump's not just a sore loser, he's a real threat to democracy. Who knew a guy with hair like cotton candy could be so dangerous? But jokes aside, Maher's comedy isn't just for laughs. It's a clever way to make us think about some pretty serious stuff going on in politics. Maher's comedy is like a spoonful of sugar that helps the medicine of political reality go down. He's pointing out how Trump's actions could mess up our democracy big time. It's not just about Trump being a big baby who can't handle losing. It's about the rules of our country being bent like a pretzel. And for Trump's next career move, well, Maher's got a suggestion, and it's definitely not politics. Maybe Trump could debate Biden on the tough questions, like, what's Melania's middle name? At least then we'd all get a good laugh without worrying about the fate of the nation.